Can you think quick on your feet to connect two cards in cross clues? Hey guys, and thanks for joining us yet again at Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Will Meadows.
And I'm Sara Meadows, and today we're looking at Cross Clues from Blue Orange. It's from designer Gregory Grard.
This is a 2 to 6 player clue-giving party game that takes about 10 minutes to play. Blue Orange was kind enough to send us a copy, so let's take a look at how it's played.
To set up the game, lay out the A, B, C, D, and 1, 2, 3, 4 axis tiles on the table.
Shuffle the word cards and place one next to each access point.
Grab the timer and gather and shuffle the clue cards for A1, A2, etc. for your grid, and then you're ready to begin.
When the timer is flipped, everyone draws a card, making sure not to show anyone. Each player will simultaneously find the two axis cards that go with their coordinates, and then try and come up with a one-word clue that corresponds to each.
So for example, pen and chicken might be coop.
The other players will then look over the grid and get one guess to find the coordinate.
If they are correct, the card is placed in the grid, but if not, it is set aside and a new card is drawn.
Play continues with players creating and guessing clues in an attempt to fill up as much of the grid as they can before time runs out.
Then points are tallied for each coordinate that is filled in.
Cross Clues is a high-speed cooperative party game that has players attempting to get as many cards out of their hand and onto the table as they can. But people will be kind of fulfilling two different roles at the same time because they're not only trying to put together clues, they're also trying to guess them.
In the game, you're going to draw a card. Now, when you set up the game, first of all, there is an easy, intermediate, and advanced level. So you can make the grid smaller by just using 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, and make a 9 by 9, or a 3 by 3 to have 9 clues out there. Or you can make it bigger up to a 5 by 5 grid, and you use the same amount of time either way. So that will make things rush a little bit more. There are also a couple extra rules for having 2 or 3 players where you'll draw a couple of cards, and that helps you maybe work on a couple of clues at the same time while you're thinking through what you need to give as clues. But it does have that rushing of we have to get enough done before the timer runs out, and so everyone is working to think hard about giving a good clue because you get one shot and one guess for each clue that you give.
Yeah, you have to be not too quick to guess the clue.
Yep.
There's a tendency to want to just shout it out and then like not having looked over all the answers and then all the rest of your teammates hate you. I feel like this game is kind of a good mix between code names and maybe medium, yeah, where you've got the grid, you've got the words, you are trying to connect two things in your mind that everybody else is also going to make that connection on. The fact that it's cooperative and time-based means it's really fast, everybody's doing something all the time, which really creates a fun, exciting experience until you give a clue that you think is perfect, nobody gets it, goes back into the bottom of the pile, and you got to start over.
Yep. This one we've played with our children, and they've actually done a pretty good job of coming up with a clue, even though they have less life experience to pull from for some of these. They still did a wonderful job of coming up with clues for some difficult words that didn't seem to pair together. There's also a nice process of elimination. So once you start filling in that grid with some of the easier ones, I was able to come up, like our example, the chicken and pen with coop.
Yeah, that was lucky.
Yeah, that one was easy. But some of the other ones, it may be really difficult to put those two words together. But once you get the grid started to fill in, there's much less choices to use, so you can kind of use process elimination. Yeah,
I really appreciated just the small box form factor. This makes it great to be able to take to parties. It still has a nice table presence. I really like the retro theme game show type of feel that it had. Once you've got it all laid out on the table and everybody understands how to play it, it only takes a minute, so it's really quick to jump into. And then you're going to get a decent amount of replayability out of it because those axis cards are going to be different every single time. And so trying to think of different words that connect things on the table table is fun. It's a really enjoyable experience to, oh, I got the perfect clue, and then you kind of wait till they've picked the last one, and you shout it out, and you're ready to go, and you're watching it build up, and you're watching the sand timer tick down. I like real-time party games.
Yeah, and if you want to play this with children the first few times, where all the times you play it, you don't have to use the timer in the game.
Sure.
If you want to do turn-based, you could work on that, have maybe a couple cards to let them choose which one they want to do if you're playing especially with younger kids, and you can take turns going around the table giving a clue, which is an alternate way to play the game.
Yep, lots of flexibility for sure. If Cross Clues looks like something you'd be interested in, then be sure to check it out from Blue Orange Games. Thanks again so much for watching and subscribing and liking and commenting and all that jazz. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Cross Clues is a fun, creative little board party farty game. Can you think quick on your feet and collect the cards in Cross Clues? Quick on your feet to play a card?